Hello! Today is our first lesson of 100 lessons with Mariia, with me, grammar lessons. Today we're going to speak about three important verbs. I use the word verb. Do you know what this word verb means? Verb is a word which shows you that someone does something or something is happening. So when you describe an action, you use verbs. So the verbs are here. We have do, have, be, think, go, sleep, jump, and so on. So these three verbs are very important because sometimes you use them as just simple verbs like I have a boyfriend. I have, so you use this verb. But sometimes you use a verb as auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb. This kind of verb helps you to build the tense form to say something. For example, I mentioned I have a boyfriend, and then I say, I have read the book already. I have read. So in fact, I do not speak about having a book. I speak about reading a book. I have read the book. Completed action. So you see in this second example, have will be an auxiliary verb. In our next lesson, we are going to speak about auxiliary verbs. So it's important for you to understand the difference between verbs and auxiliary verbs. Verbs which help you to tell something, to express the idea. You notice that I have written different words to the side of these verbs. These words are called forms of verbs. If I say a form of the verb, I mean that this word has the same meaning as the first form that they have, infinitive form. It has the same meaning, but we change it a little bit. For example, let's say another word, let's say do, the verb do. You see forms do, does, did. We can say doing, done, some other forms. But everything means the same, to do. So forms, words which mean the same, but are changed a little bit. So today we're going to work with two different tense forms. In the present indefinite tense or present simple tense, in the past indefinite tense, action that happened in the past. Be has three forms, am, is, are. Do you know when we use am? You say, am a teacher. What should I say? I am, right. Is, what do we use is? Is a good boy. He is, you're right. So we have he, we have she, and we have it. I want to mark this ending S. This will be very important. And then we have all other pronouns that we use in. Yes, you, we, they, like plural. So in fact, the he, she, it, we can say with one word, describe. And maybe you've heard me saying singular S. Singular S. What do I mean by saying that? Singular means that we speak about one single thing or a person, like he, one person, she, one person, it, one object, or person can be as well. So singular. It's easy to remember when you think about this phrase, I'm single. It means I'm alone, I'm single, I don't have any partner, I'm not married, I'm single, singular, one. S, this is the ending of the verb. Remember we talked about verbs? So when you speak about one person or thing that does something or happens something, we have to add s at the end of the verb. So it's only in the present indefinite tense form. So in this verb be, we have ending s. Look, with this verb have, we have one more form that has this ending. What do you understand? When do we need to use this form? What do you think?
For one person.
For one person or one thing, you're right. It's about singular again, about one. Look here, we have again do, does. The same. So you see the pattern, it's about singular. So instead of using, for example, he, she, it, of course you can speak about, you use nouns sometimes. For example, my mother. My mother, you think she, like my mother, one person. My mother does. You will have this does. Simple rule, singular s, remember, in the present indefinite tense form. In the past, only in this form be, we have two forms, was and were. And I want to tell you, it's easy to remember. Here you have s, and here you have s. But in this form, we add I as well. I was, he, she, it was. The same, easier to remember. And here we have plural, or and where. And look at this letter. Or where, they sound almost the same, the ending. So you change only one letter and you have another form. Here we have has, had, do, does, did. You see, have D at the end as well. And that's all I wanted to tell you today. What do you need to do at home? You have to know these forms, different forms of these three important verbs by heart. So learn them and make your own sentences. So at least 6 sentences where you use one of these forms. So different tense forms, different verbs. Thank you.